Right now, as you watch this, invisible data is traveling at the speed of light through cables buried under the ocean floor. From a server thousands of miles away, through fiber optic cables thinner than a human hair, into your home, onto your screen, in under a second. And almost nobody knows how that actually happens. Here's the real story. When you type a website address into your browser, the first thing that happens has nothing to do with the website itself. Your device needs to find it, and to find it, it asks something called a DNS server, a domain name system. Think of it as the phone book of the internet. You type, and the DNS server translates that into a numerical address, called an IP address, that computers actually understand. Something like 142.250.80.46. Every single device connected to the internet has one. Now your device knows where to go. But how does the data actually get there? This is where it gets interesting. The internet doesn't send information in one big chunk. It breaks everything into tiny pieces called packets. Each packet travels independently across the network, sometimes taking completely different routes to reach the same destination. One packet might travel through Chicago, another through London, another through Tokyo, and they all reassemble perfectly on the other end, in the right order. This system was actually designed during the Cold War. The U.S. military wanted a communication network that could survive a nuclear attack. If one city was destroyed, the network would automatically reroute around it. That's why the internet has no single point of failure. It was built to survive the apocalypse. Now these packets need to physically travel somewhere, and this is the part that blows most people's minds. Under the ocean right now, there are over 400 submarine cables stretching across the seafloor. These cables are about as thick as a garden hose, and they carry approximately 97% of all international internet traffic. Every email, every video, every financial transaction between continents, all of it traveling through cables sitting at the bottom of the ocean, sometimes 4 miles deep. The cables use fiber optic technology, pulses of light traveling through glass threads thinner than a human hair. Light travels at 186,000 miles per second, which is why you can load a web page from a server on the other side of the planet in milliseconds. But light still needs help over long distances. Every few hundred miles, the signal gets boosted by devices called repeaters, powered by electrical current running through the same cable. Some of these repeaters have been sitting on the ocean floor for decades, working perfectly in total darkness under enormous pressure. When the data finally reaches your country, it travels through a network of data centers, massive warehouses filled with servers. These buildings consume as much electricity as small cities. They need constant cooling because the servers generate enormous amounts of heat. Some companies have started sinking data centers into the ocean to use seawater for cooling. The last stretch of the journey is called the last mile. This is the connection from your local network to your home, whether that's fiber optic cable, copper wire, or wireless signal. It's called the last mile because historically it was the most expensive and slowest part of the entire journey. Even today, most internet slowdowns happen right here, not across the ocean, but in the final stretch to your door. So the next time a web page loads slowly, it's probably not the fault of a cable on the ocean floor. It's almost certainly that last-mile connection between your neighborhood and your home. The internet feels invisible and instant, but underneath it is one of the most complex physical systems ever built by humans. Cables under oceans, signals bouncing through space, data centers the size of football fields, all working together seamlessly, so you can watch a video without buffering. And it all starts with a question your computer quietly asks in the background. Where is this thing I'm looking for? The answer comes back in milliseconds.